Hey y'all, it's Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Thanks for joining me for another crafty venture. Today my venture is participation in a hashtag driven hop with Team Tiny. The hashtag is of course hashtag Team Tiny Case. And the fellow creator that I gained my inspiration from was Miss Annalise G of Faith Dream Create, and that is her fun birthday card. So let me jump right into the card making process while I tell you about the hop. You can see that I'm using my ACLD Cloud Edger stencil. I don't know why I always stumble over that, but if you don't have one yet, you need to get one. So the hop, again, it's with Team Tiny, and we are a group of creators over on Facebook, but we also are creators of YouTube content, and we all have less than 1,000 subscribers, meaning that we are not monetized and we do not have ads on our channels. So you can hop along all day long with all of us and never watch a commercial. Let me talk about this ink pad. So I got it from the manufacturer. It was wrapped in cellophane, and I unwrapped it, I labeled it, I put it on the shelf. This is my first time to open it. It had thank you etched on the pad. What? I'm a little creeped out. I don't really know what to think about that. I mean, who knows? Maybe Tim Holtz himself etched thank you in my ink pad. Weird. Anyway, back to the hop. We are creators who have less than 1,000 subscribers. For many of us, our goal is to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark and to then become monetized. I'm not so worried about that, but I do like the numbers. Oh, here's my finished background. I love it. Now on to the second one. My goal is not so much to build the numbers as it is to continue to build relationships and grow friendships and foster creativity and all of those things. Each number represents a person. So in that sense, I'm all about the numbers. But in terms of just growing in size, that's not so important to me. I'd rather have an intimate group where we connect and we exchange, discourse and creative processes and things like that versus, me making money. And let me just say that even when you get monetized, it's a meager income for sure. It's not like anybody, unless they're huge channels, nobody can live off of their YouTube channel. People just don't. For me, it's about the creativity. So back to wherever I was. I'm a little disjointed and disorganized, so I apologize. But these are both of my panels. Cloud Overload, I agree, but I think they're gorgeous, and I love the unusual color schemes. So there I added a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of splatter with some water, as well as some of my Eye Crafter shimmer spray. So many people have given me positive feedback on my coloring, even though I am no colorist at all. I'm very much a novice, and it definitely depends on what medium I'm using. So here you see I'm using my Caron Brush Marker Pros. This is maybe the third time I've used them, so I'm still learning how they handle, how the pigment moves, things like that. And I am leaving in a bulk of the coloring this time just because so many people have commented on it. Let me know down below if you would like to see more of my coloring process. And again, just know that I'm very much a novice at all mediums, but I would definitely show you my process. I mean, I'm pretty transparent about what I'm doing and what I'm using. So I would love to leave in more if that's what you want to see. But again, I am, just beginner, but we can learn and grow together. And I love that idea. So with any medium, to get, I don't know what adjective to use. I don't want to say better, it's not lifelike, I guess just deeper. To get a deeper outcome, you have to add layers, right? Because layers add depth. So for like that lighter gray, I colored on my craft mat, and then I picked it up with my paintbrush. For the depth though, on those panels of the airplane, I colored straight in with my marker pens. I don't know what they're called. I colored straight in with the pens, and then I pulled out some of that color. But even though this is Bristol Smooth, the color doesn't move very well. So what I'm doing is I have that wet paintbrush, and I'm taking the tip of the paintbrush to the tip of the marker to pick up some color, and in that sense I'm able to move the color around a little bit. But it's really not so much moving the color, I don't think, as it is just filling in with the lighter shade. So again, I go back in several times to the corners and the edges just to add that depth and dimension. Is it realistic? Absolutely not. But this is not a realistic image, but it does give more, again, depth and dimension. It adds more character, it adds more interest to the overall image. So for much of my coloring, and I apologize, it is halfway on screen and halfway off screen, just like it was when I did my backgrounds. I'm so sorry, because I really thought that I was on screen. I wasn't. So this is probably the best one in terms of being on screen, this little segment here. But again, let me know down below what you'd like to see in terms of my coloring. Do you want to see more of it? Because I can slow it down, show a more in-depth process over a shorter period, because this is about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of footage that I had to edit down to like 13 minutes. So obviously I can't show you the whole process. But I'm willing to show you a slowed down version of it, because most of this video is sped up by 3 times. So there's no way that this came together that fast. And this little segment probably took, I don't know, 8 minutes. And so it's sped up 3 times just for the airplane. Okay, so on to Miss Annalise. Let me tell you about Sweet Annalise G. So again, her YouTube channel is called Faith Dream Create, and she is a sweetheart. She just had a new baby. Sorry, I'm snapping my tongue. She just had a new baby earlier this spring. I think it was in March, if I remember correctly. And that was their first daughter. She has 2 little boys as well. I believe they're 3 and 5, if I got that information right. I learned so much about her just by allowing her videos just to play, just to run, and just listen and watch and glean as much information about her, her family, her process as I can. And she is a doll. She's such a sweetheart, and she's very creative. She's very resourceful. Oh my gosh. She can take a Dollar Tree haul and make that go far. Y'all got to check her out. She loves decorating. She loves crafting. She's all about educating her children and including them in the creative process as well. She has some DIY videos. She has some organizational videos. She has some educational videos. I mean, just go check her out. Obviously, there's collabs and hops and things like that, even some hauls. And I just encourage you to go check her out. I think you'll enjoy it. She's very, very sweet. We all have a bit of a different creative sense about us, and yeah, go check her out. The link to this particular card that gave me my inspiration is linked down below in my description box. And her card is a happy birthday card, as you saw in the beginning, but she also did it as a collaboration with someone else. So I think it's fantastic that her collab card inspired my hop card. I think that's super fun. So back to my card. Here I am exemplifying the fact that I said most of my coloring was off screen. So I do apologize, but you can still kind of see this guy come to life. When I do my shadows and my depth and things like that, I don't really think about light source. I don't think about where the shadow would be, that type of thing. I just make shadows and highlights where I think it looks good. I know there are some out there that are purists, and you have to have a light source and all that. Again, talking about different creative styles, that's just not my creative style. I don't consider myself an artist. I'm a card maker. I'm a crafter, not an artist. But I guess there's artistry in that, right? I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting too deep. You can see this sweet guy come to life. I'm using different shades of browns, and I did like an undercolor of, it was kind of a greeny brown. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called Almond, and it's a greeny brown. Even has some yellow in it. It's an unusual color. It's the one that looks kind of beigey right there. And so that was my underpainting, if you will, of this giraffe. And then I used shades of browns, and I've got some oranges on his spots as well, and some pink in his cheeks and in his ears and his little snout. I think he's adorable. And now to the elephant. And unfortunately, I did not swatch out my grays before I started coloring, and normally I do. I don't have actual swatches, but I'll make a little tick mark just to see. And I didn't, and I used one of the darker grays to do my underpainting, and that was wrong. At least in my opinion, because he's a little too dark. In the end, he lightens up after I put some glaze on him. It's crystal glaze, and so that, for whatever reason, that crystal glaze does not like my coloring mediums because it tends to bleach them out a little bit. But anyway, I put it on him and it helped to lighten him up a little bit. And yeah, so you always want to start with a lighter color. You can always add darker, more deep colors to your image, but if you start too dark, it's really hard to take it off. Now if you're using watercolor, you know, typically you can add some water to it, dab it off, and that will lighten up. But not always. You know, if it has time to dry into your paper, it's not likely to come off. But anyway, I digress, and I'm not showing myself grace. He is what he is. He's still adorable in the end. I was able to get some cute pink highlights in his ear and on his cheek, as well as on the giraffe's cheek. Yeah, I think he's really cute. So what I don't show on screen is that I cover just about everything, definitely all the balloons and definitely both planes. I cover them in either crystal glaze, stickles, or Nouveau glitter drops. It just adds that fun, that sparkle, that celebratory, whatever you want to call it, to these cards. There you can see all that shimmer and shine. And so I stamped the birthday under both happy balloons, and these are my final cards, y'all. I also used some edging dies from Pink Fresh Studios to put that little detail on top, and I'm super happy with them. I love them. So this is the final outcome. You can see that my cards are completely different from Annalisa's, completely different, and I'll show her her card that inspired me in just a minute, but I just wanted you to see these cards from different angles. You can see that detailed die cut at the top. You can see all the sparkle and the shine and the texture and the strings. Oh my goodness, it's just fun. I have had so much fun making these two cards for this hop. And again, it's the hashtag #TeamTinyCase card hop. Enter that hashtag and you will have a list of participants pop up. And again, y'all, I'm Nancy, the Handy Scandy, and thank you for joining me in this crafty venture, and stick around. There's plenty more to come in the coming days. Thanks, guys. Bye.